It's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bon J, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Good evening and welcome. Well, to those of you out in TV land, you're live on GIS TV. And welcome to the show Bon J. You might have heard the promotions in the weeks ahead. And tonight is the first of a series of shows that is designed to showcase our Grenadian talent, people who are involved in the culture. And I'm only speaking of performing arts. We're speaking of the various cultures, that our way of life as a people. So those of you who cook well, those of us who cook well, those of us who dance well, who sing, and that sort of thing. I'm your host, Robert White. I will be with you from 8 to 9 every Friday, and I can tell you we're going to have a very, very good time. The show is live. The show is cool, it's smooth, and it sets the weekend right. That's how it's going to be, right? Now, Bon J, what you have heard that term? I'm sure you would have heard that term. And it's in my research, because of course you had to do a little research. It is essentially an expression, good God, good grief, something exclamatory. And most of us might be familiar with our grandmother, Bon J, child, sit down. Bon J, look, the boy buy a new car, that sort of thing. So Bon J is actually an exclamation. And it fits well into our culture because it actually speaks to how we every so often we see something and we get surprised and it slips out. Good, and it also connects us to our history, because some of us may not necessarily understand the expression. So we are here on the show to make the connection, and to showcase our very own. As we continue with the program this evening, I want to give you a bit of info, Bon J info, as I said. Just want to let you know that the Cultural Foundation is partnering we're doing a Calypso workshop, Calypso Soca workshop in Carriacou, and that is going to be on the 12th of October. Hey, Bon J, that is just now. You see how Tom Bon J has just come in very nice. Right, so they're doing a Calypso workshop in Carriacou the 12th of October. And we spoke about food earlier on when I mentioned that, that we're trying to expose our own talent, those of us who are good at cooking and preparing very nice meals and so. Well, World Food Day is coming up, and that is going to be held on the National Stadium Wednesday, the 16th of October. And it actually starts, it's a whole day session, starts at 9 and goes up to 6. So remember to go check it out. That's it, World Food Day. The theme this year, Sustainable Food Systems for Food Security and Nutrition. Sustainable Food Systems for Food Security and Nutrition. Whew, Bon J, that's a mouthful. And you would have been looking at the TV too, there's a show coming up. Francis Urias Peters has a new production on, opening October 19th. Bon J, that's just now. Yeah, the show is Redemption Time. It's on October, no, not 19th, the 18th. Bon J, I can't even see what happened there. But, yeah, October 18th. It begins at this, October 18th, starts at 8 p.m. at the Spice Basket. Spice Basket, home of our culture, right? On October 19th, however, there'll be a wreath laying ceremony on Fort George, beginning at 4:30 p.m. And we try to ensure that we salute the folks who would have died on that tragic incident on October 19th. So this year, like the other years before, there's going to be a wreath laying ceremony at Fort George. And of course, tonight is Fish Friday night. Fish Friday happens every Friday. And right now, I'm sure there are some people in Guelph, just enjoying a sumptuous piece of fish, fried, or they have got it steamed. I like it steamed. And you can head down to Guelph, but remember, if you're looking at Bon J now, don't leave now, right? We're going to be here from 8 to 9, so you can't leave before, but after 9, Bon J, take out with speed and head on to Fish Friday at Guelph. So the show is designed to interview some of our, as I said, cultural icons, the old and the not so old, or there are people who would have been in the culture, for many years, and they got a story to tell. We certainly want to capture them on the program, hear their story, and there are some of us, of course, who are young indeed and showing talents, and we certainly want to showcase their talents as well. Bon J, what happened there? Look at somebody on this. No, I had to laugh at this. Now take a look at that picture, good folks. take a look at that picture. Let's see if you recognize who's there. And if you do, stay. We're going to actually, we're going to be taking a break, and when we come back, we'll do something. We'll actually see who that person is. Come on. I mean, Punch, you don't see teeth. That is one person who is very well placed in the cultural. I mean, somebody who we know well on the cultural scene in Grenada. It's no stranger, but I'm certain that some folks might not be able to recognize the picture they would have been. But we'll take a break right now, and when we come back, we'll actually have live in studio that person you saw on the picture.
Bonjay, it's a cultural theme. Experience the goodness of a spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, or customs and traditions. Bonjay, hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action and the old talk. A real Grenadian cultural experience. Bonjay, a product of the Grenada Cultural Foundation.
Welcome back, and just before we took the break, we did put up a photo on the screen, and I mean we have a live in studio with us now, the person who is actually portraying or playing that as particular character there as the picture depicts. And I want to say good evening to the person in studio. I'm sure that we'll actually get a shot that introduces that person who we had on the screen. And yes, no, I mean, take a look and look at that. Look at the comparison. I mean, a while ago I looked at you on the screen and I couldn't imagine that you're such a handsome gentleman. I look at somebody without teeth in him. But look at the photograph there. Karim Alexis, welcome Karim, welcome to Bonjay.
Well, it's good to be here, Robbie.
Well, Karim, knowing you, I know it's good. You would like to be anywhere. So I mean, I could imagine you saying it's good to be everywhere.
And it's particularly exciting to be the first guest on Bonjay. Oh my, that's exciting.
Well, but if you know how much thought went into this thing, I mean, we look at Karim and say, Karim. I say, yes, Karim. So I mean, you came well, you came highly recommended.
Good.
Right? But Karim, tell me now, man, you're sporting a new face these days, man. You seem to have more hair under your chin and on top of your head. What's the reason for that?
There's a big reason. There's a big reason. Just transformation.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you need to do different, look different.
All right.
Yeah, so big word, transformation.
Good. Karim, we saw a photo of you earlier on. I mean, what was that actual portrayal like?
Oh, that's it's a show we did at the Spice Basket, and I was just being a vagrant, as we would say, you know, just.
Is that one of the portrayals where you actually give a joke about the cat?
I did give a joke about the cat.
Okay.
And that seemed to be a favorite, eh?
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh gosh, Karim! A fish, Karim!
Bye-bye.
But Karim, we know those of us who have been following you and your involvement in the art for quite a couple of years, who know that you are involved in singing. I know that you play some music. You also do some acting. I've seen you done stand-up comedy. I mean, what drives Karim? I mean, such a multifaceted. What really drives you? What got you involved in the arts to start with, performing arts?
Well, firstly, let me say, I started doing music, especially. I started music at a very, very young age. And
that is not long ago. I mean, you're still young. You'll be even as serious.
Well, young, yes, young, still young.
Okay.
But I started
to transition from music
into acting, and so well. At the GBS, as you know, we used to have that's my alma mater. We used to have a literary and debating week and so on, and you know, I got involved. I mean, I remember doing the very first time I got into theater was at the GBSS with Mr. Chris Derriggs. There was a program on there, and I got involved, and he wrote a play called Pinky Jackson. That was the very, very first play. I was an understudy in the play, but it's still very exciting. And from then, you know, I started, loving this more and more, getting more and more comfortable on stage, and I just keep doing it. I mean, loving it, keep doing it. I get deeper in the culture, understanding more and more about Grenada's culture, and what we need to do to keep the culture moving. Yeah, so I just love you know, being on stage, especially music, well, every part of it, I just love it. And I get on stage, I do my best to do my best, you know.
Okay. I heard a story one time of you going to Carriacou and to sing with the men from the mainland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was this unfortunate incident where you actually broke your foot on the way up. And that, I understand even that didn't stop you from performing tonight?
Of course not. I mean, it's the love. I mean, yeah, I was...
But how could you perform on stage with pain, with a cast in your foot? You didn't dance?
Yes, of course.
Bonje
I
will carry me easy.
You know, I danced and I found out that was a Saturday morning. We were going up. Actually, we weren't taking part in the parang, but we were you know, going to perform. We were guest artists on the Sunday night, and we were going up to Carriacou. I was in the boat, holding on, and a wave came and the boat went up and down. You know,
Bonje,
I mean, I get the pain, but I couldn't be bothered. I just sat down because I couldn't put too much pressure on the foot. When I went up there, I spent a little while. I went straight to the hospital, and the doctor told me then it's fractured. So, but I say I'm there already. So, you know, Saturday evening, the boat gone back down to Grenada already. So, let's have fun.
So you decided you go on stage no matter what.
Yeah, well,
so
that's why I was there.
The stage is like your second home.
Well, I just love it, Robbie. To be honest, I love being on stage, you know.
But what has been your most, what would you say is your most challenging moment on stage now? What is at least one thing that stands out as your most challenging moment on stage?
Oh my, there's so much to think about. Let's see.
I mean, was it an incident while you were singing? Was it an incident while you were doing stand-up comedy?
It was actually singing. You know, could you imagine singing? I remember singing and just went blank. You know, not. I mean, I couldn't figure out which part of the song I was in. You know, I just went blank.
Okay, so how did that end up then?
Well, as far as what I was told. Something came out because I remember after the performance, some of the choir members asking me, where you got his words from? So
as they say, the show must go on.
Yeah, I mean, we went on, and the song started blank, and the song finished. So, you know, in comedy, if you go blank, I mean, you know, it would work. You know, it would work. You know. And in singing, I made it work. So,
well, yeah, as we say, once you're on stage, the show must go on.
Must.
Right, Karim, this is your country, and you know we all love our country. And what would you like to see with respect to the development of the art? What would you like to see happen? What do you think is one of the what I want to use here is probably the best thing, let's put that can happen for Grenada as far as the cultural art from the cultural movement is concerned?
Well, to be honest, you know, I always say a lot boils down to, you know, when you talk about culture and the country and so on, you know, to really get this thing moving and to get more people involved and to get you know, especially younger people to enjoy and understand this thing. I think we have to start seriously respecting people's, you know, people in the culture. You know, over and over you see it, Robert, and we all know about it, that you see sometimes you hear a local show being advertised and the interest, you know, it's almost not there. But the minute you hear a foreign artist come in, and it's a foreign artist with one song, you know, just one song. You just have one, as they say, hit. I mean, you know, and everybody goes crazy over this, you know. And these people come here and they're highly respected, you know. But the thing is, at their home, I'm sure they've been respected as well. But for us, we respect them and our own.
You don't.
You know, who's the UN Shire thing? You know, and what's particularly one of the things that upsets me a lot, all right? you're going to do you're going to have a show as a local artist, and you work hard to rehearse and to. It's a lot of time spent doing it, and you introduce your friends to that show, and the first thing you hear, well, I'll get a free ticket. But I mean, to me, that's disrespect. You understand me? You need to understand my craft, respect my craft, and from that standpoint, that's why I say, if we start respecting our own a lot more, I think, I mean, we could rise, honestly.
One other question as a follow-up. Do you think we need to actually start training and teaching in school? I mean, for example, we know of, and we're speaking of the performing arts here, we want to focus, based on the discussion already, on the performing arts. I mean, we have Carnival, right? It happens every year, but we don't do any wire bending here. We don't teach the history of Chutney and that sort of thing. Do you think there's a need to teach those things in school? So there's a platform in school so that you could just naturally progress into the performing arts, even as a career, when you would have left school.
Exactly, and that's the sort of thing that we're not seeing. I mean, even our calypso. I mean,
speaking of calypso, I hear you sing calypso too, man.
Yeah, man.
Boy, my first, carry me in everything.
Listen, no.
Carry me like salt.
My first calypso name, was the Mighty Dreamer,
Yeah, well, I realized. So you didn't bring that song here to still dreaming about it.
Yeah. Man, I sing the song, but
it's a pity we didn't have more time to discuss with you, Karim. Otherwise, we probably have asked you to sing a line or two, right?
Maybe next time.
Okay.
Because I have it,
You do have it?
Yeah, I have it, man. Never forget the first line,
Karim, I want to thank you so much for being on the program. Very first guest on Bunjay. We certainly hope we will have you back at some future occasion.
Well, I hope so, because there's lots to talk about.
Good, and wish you all the best in your endeavor and as you continue growing here. Right? Remember, you're live on GIS TV, and this is Bunjay. Remember, the show happens 8 to 9 every Friday, and this is actually our inaugural show. It's a big one day, boy. Right? We're going to take a break right now, and when we get back, we continue with more interviews on Welcome back to Bunjay, and just before the break, we would have been having a discussion there with Karim Alexis. And as we continue with our program now on this beautiful Friday evening, the numbers you can call will be going live. The number you can call 435-2636, and I'll tell you why we want you to call us. We just wanted to look back, and there's one of the things we want to do continuously on this program. As we go forward, take a look back and make a comparison, make a connection between what life was then as opposed to what is now, and maybe how we were then influences what we are now, right? For example, we have some I don't know if the camera is picking it up. There's some nice parts of the sets here. There's a beautiful lady here with her hand up. I wonder if the camera could focus. She's from Sierra Leone. We have here a goblet, but I remember we had one like that downstairs at the house, and that is where we used to keep the water and so on. And this goblet here used to keep the water nice and cool, because in those days, of course, we had no refrigerator, right? And we have our drums here, Well, there's still drums, eh? You know, there's still drums. But the question now is, what was life? That is what I call and say. What was life before cell phone? Cell phone is the in thing now. A fella tell me even man go on all a cell phone now, you know. They was call one another and say, man come in, hide. So what was life like before cell phones? I mean, something we take for granted. And what was even the first cell phone like? I remember the first cell phone I saw must have been about 12 inches long. I mean, if you have anything over 6 inches, well, not even 6 inches now is considered a phone booth, but the original phone was about 12 inches long. So give us a call, 435-2636. Join us on the program. Give us your answers. What was life like before cell phones? And as we continue with the set in the interim while we're waiting on the calls, we got a lovely forget we hot, man. There's a lovely cool pot here. Next week we're going to roast a little corn and thing. Things are happening here. And this is our dear friend, she's Tantan. Over there we have Po Boy, and they'll be with us. Tantan, how are you doing? Yeah. Tano! Well, she ain't taking me on tonight. She's kind of moody. Sometimes she speaks, sometimes she... But she got a beautiful smile. Look at those lips. Beautiful black woman. Tano! Still speaks when she wants to. So we have Tano here, we have Po Boy there. Po Boy is in his Shotney outfit. I mean, Shotney again is part of our cultural history, and of course it features big in our carnival. And I understand there's Shotney even on Labor Day carnival now. Hundreds of Shotneys, and it's Grenadian. So the number is again 435-2636. Our drums, connection to our African heritage. I mean, the drums are very powerful, very, very powerful. I remember being at a show in the Trade Center one time when the drums rolled. There was a group from Carrick who was actually doing a presentation on stage, and one lady actually, she was taken over by the spirits. I don't think that's negative. She started dancing, and so she was a white woman. She said afterwards in an interview, this is the very first time that she danced. She never knew she had that in that kind of African move and so. But the spirits captured her, man. So the drums, they're right here as part of our African heritage. What do we have on our sets again? So we had the cold pot here indicated we'll be roasting some corn next week. That's a lovely logo as part of our backdrop, right? And the 435, we just want to give you the number again, 435-636. The question, what was life like before cell phones? Again, we say it is, I mean, every child wants a cell phone. Every employee seems to have a cell phone. Just about every man, woman, and child. There are more than one companies in Grenada now offering cell phone service. But 23 years ago, there was no cell phones. It is probably maybe just well nigh 15 or 17 years. I stand corrected here. But that is a new phenomenon, but it has just actually engulfed our existence. So while we wait on our calls, on the audience to connect with us, we have with us in the studio young, talented Emily Rapier. Emily, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing, my dear?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am good. As I mentioned to you in passing in the corridor a while ago, this is the second time we've seen for the day. I saw you earlier on. And I remember saying to myself, I know that face. And then it connected. I said, I've seen her on stage dancing. So I said, okay. I came here tonight and I got your biography, and I was shocked. I mean, literally shocked at how multifaceted, multi-talented Emily is. And I'm not saying that to make you blush, but I mean, it is what it is. Emily, tell us. I see here you dance. I know definitely you dance. I saw that you're singing. I saw that you did a bit of acting. Not just dance, I saw you actually did various types of dance, ballet, and I certainly saw you with African dances and so. What moves Emily? I mean, where did this talent from?
Where? Well, from as long as I can remember, I've been dancing. But my mom would always like to say that I got my singing from her.
So then you get it dancing from daddy. I mean, it's only fair.
I think I was just lucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been dancing, and I noticed too that there was this singing involved, but you seem initially shy.
It was very shocking to me when I first discovered that I could sing. I when I was going to do my first performance, or even when I had to sing in assemblies or anything, in the beginning I was nervous, and at first I couldn't understand why, because I could go on stage and dance in my sleep and it wouldn't be a problem. But I think it was because I haven't been singing since a young age, because as long as I can remember, I've been dancing on stage, and you know, it was like home to me. And so I had this new talent and I was exploring and making it better. So I think I was just nervous for the first time, but eventually now I'm very in the groove with it. It's just like everything else that I do.
So imagine to go on stage singing for the first time, like, Bunji, I wonder if I could do that, boy.
Yeah.
It's that, you know, I have learned over the years, because I'm involved in the performing arts as well, and I've learned over the years that the butterflies that come, don't take them on.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you would have gotten to the stage by now.
Well, what happens with before I go on, I'm usually nervous. When I reach on stage, for some reason, it just goes away. It all goes away. Actually, when I was singing, my first time I was singing, I did 3 songs in a Queen show, and I was so nervous. I was pacing up and down backstage, and when I went on stage, I just completely forgot. And when I came off, I felt so good, because it was amazing how the nerves just flew away.
Good. Emily, we noticed that you had a stint in St. Lucia.
Yes.
What was life like in St. Lucia? And how would you compare your experience in St. Lucia with respect, not just living in St. Lucia, but being involved in the performing arts in St. Lucia? How would you compare that with your experiences in Grenada?
Well, for one, the culture is very different. The dancing is different. I did more of a folk kind of a dance in St. Lucia, and I would always love my home, and I would still prefer Grenada if anybody was to ask me. But St. Lucia, it was interesting. I lived there for only a year, but it's where I first started to play pan. So I remember that.
Pan as well?
Yes, I've played pan.
But what is it that Emily doesn't do?
I don't know. Yes, that's when I first started playing pan, and it was a different experience. Even school-wise, it was different, and the town itself is different in relation to Grenada. But I enjoyed it, but at the same time, I really missed Grenada, and I really wanted to come home.
You yearn to be back home?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we hear these days, Emily, about teenage violence and waywardness of young people and so. How would you say the arts, so would you say that the arts, being involved in the arts, presents an avenue for folks to be disciplined and to be more focused in life?
Definitely.
Would that have been your experience? Did the arts impact on you in that way?
I would say that, well, on a broader aspect for teenagers, because one, it's very time consuming, and once you start it and then you grow a passion for it, it's what you would think about. It's what you would want to do in your spare time rather than look to give trouble. Yes, and for me, it's if I'm angry, it's very relaxing, because to be involved with more than one aspect of it, depending on my mood, I would do another aspect. So if to calm me down, I would rather do ballet, because it's soothing to me. And if I'm energetic and happy and I really want to fuel that into something, I would probably do jazz. But in terms of my personality, I bring that out when I'm singing.
Good. What's the experience like playing pan?
Pan was very, very fun. It's also very time consuming, especially around Carnival, when you're getting ready for Panorama.
I've heard of the long nights.
Very long nights and a lot of missing out. But you know, if you're dedicated to something, you're dedicated. But pan, I started in St. Lucia with the tenor bass, and then when I moved back to Grenada, I started the single tenor, and I preferred the single tenor. But it's a nice environment, and being in the pan house, you know, you make friends and family, you make a lot of memories, and it's something that you could always sharpen up on. And I'm proud to say that my instrument is the steel pan rather than saying piano or guitar.
Yeah, steel pan is the only instrument that was invented in the 21st century, right? So far, and it has the distinction of being invented in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Good. Emily, we're looking at a photo on the television right now. There's a pretty young lady there in a gown and so I find she looks like you. But she is flanked by presents, and I'm seeing like there seem to be awards. And tell us about something about that photo.
Well, that was my graduation.
What year was that?
That was this year.
This year.
Yes.
Good.
And well, the white embellishment I have on my gown is for my salutatorian award. And the little trophies are subject awards. The green trophy, well, no, the green present is because I was house captain. So,
Emily, you were house captain as well. You played steel band. You danced. I mean, where did you find the time?
Well, certain things I had to let go, especially in my final year.
Okay.
And I was not angry. I had to accept that. In secondary level, I could not really find the time to play pan because that's very time consuming. And I had a lot of end of term exam. It didn't make sense starting and then stopping. So I had to sacrifice for pan. But if it's one thing, I danced religiously. Throughout all my years, I would always dance. Only really, really, really close up to CXC, where my SBAs were due. That's when I had to stop dancing because I had to take the time to finish my SBAs. But it helped me with the stress of Form 5. Dancing really don't think that you should cut off all your extracurricular activities and, you know, focus on your books alone. It's good to have time for yourself, to get time to breeze out and relax.
Good. Now, I noticed your alma mater was Westmoreland.
Yes.
Right? And I'm just looking here. You were given the position of PRO of your junior academic called Westside, is it?
Yes.
Tell me something about that involvement.
We sold t-shirts, tie-dye t-shirts, and customized t-shirts. And because of my involvement on the stage, and I would talk so easily on stage and in front of the camera, I was given the public relations officer. So I didn't mind.
How successful was that company?
I think we placed fourth. But in terms of me being behind the camera, it was very busy. Interviews and that sort of stuff.
Good. Well, Emily, I really would like to continue speaking with you for the rest of the year. I mean, I'm looking at your bio here, and there's so much we can speak about. I mean, there's so much wrapped up in this little lady here, Emily. But really want to thank you for being on the program. And Emily, what advice would you give to the youth? As we were that conversation with you, what advice would you give to the young people, your peers, and even those who probably are a little older than you are outside with respect to their own life and the focus?
I would say find something that you're passionate about, hold on to it and practice it and get as good as you can, because if you do something that you love as your job, you never work a day in your life. So I would say find something that you love and stick to it, and don't let anybody put you that you can't.
Thank you so much, Emily. Words of inspiration. It was such a pleasure having you on the
Thank
program,
you.
Emily Rapier. Thank you very much, and we wish you all the best in your continued endeavors.
Thank you very much.
We now take a break, and when we get back, we continue with lovely action on Bunjay. Bonje, we back already after the break. I almost caught me telling you something strange on the set. We have with us here another youngster who has made himself, a household name in Grenada. And I'm looking at the logo on his T-shirt, and I'm seeing a cricketer about to hit a stroke. And what stroke is that?
That's a cut shot.
A good shot?
A cut shot.
Oh, a cut shot.
Yeah.
The gentleman here with us is George. And Keon, tell us something about yourself. We know you're a cricketer. You have actually made a name for yourself playing cricket. But give us some more info about that.
My name is Keon George. I grew up at a small village in West Hall. Cricket was always my passion. From my parents. My parents love cricket. My whole family is a cricket family.
Bonje, all you playing cricket?
Yeah, the whole family plays cricket.
Your mother too?
No, she don't play cricket.
She'll bring the water cat.
Yeah, she bring the water and the food, stuff like that. Yeah.
So you're from Wester Hall. How have you actually catapulted yourself on the nation, on the cricket scene?
Well,
what brought you to national prominence with respect to cricket?
from since I was a kid, I love cricket,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was told by some friends that there's a good cricket tournament going on, and I joined some club, and I ended up
What club are you involved in?
Upsetters.
Upsetters?
Cricket, yeah.
You upset them a lot then?
No. We upset people right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess by beating them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. And Keon, which part of the game you excel best at? Are you a bowler? You do better in the field? Are you a batsman, or you're an all-rounder? What do we get from Keon?
I'm an opening batsman, left arm opening batsman. Yeah.
What's your claim to fame, man? What's your high score so far?
My
Tell us about that moment.
My high score was 149 not out.
Hey, but Keon is good people, man.
Yeah.
149?
Yeah, that was actually in school cricket.
You made one more than me. I make 148.
So you was a cricketer too?
I was dreaming about it.
Right.
So you made 149 in what game?
Was in Tantine versus Boca.
Uh-huh.
School cricket, GBSS. I went out to play against Boca, and I was the captain of the team.
You got man of the match?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got man of the match.
149.
Yeah, and I was a wicketkeeper also in that game.
Mm.
Yeah, so I had to keep for the team, and we came out victorious in that match. I remember that match, and all my teammates were telling me against Boca, you have to be scoring hundreds against this team, because they claim to be team the underdogs in the competition. Yeah. So against this team, as a national player, I'm supposed to be scoring hundreds, and I can remember going outside positive and getting 149 not out.
Okay, so so you've represented Grenada.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
That was a great experience for me. I represented Grenada from since on 15 in 2007,
mm-hmm.
and I came up to play for the senior team. I think it was 2008. I played for the senior team together with Jean Pascal.
You played Andre?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the age of 15, and then I went on to play for Grenada under 19, and then on to the Windwards. It was just held in St. Kitts a few months ago.
Uh-huh. And so you're on the Windward team as well, the Windward youth team?
Yeah, I'm on the Windward youth team.
Mm. Good. So tell us how far you want to take your cricket. I mean, how far do you see yourself going with it?
Yeah, as I say, cricket was always my dream. I started playing from since age 11, so I would like to reach at the highest level, which is the West Indies level. Playing together with, if I should say Chris Gayle still, if he's still there, I'd like to make it to the top.
I heard you mention Chris Gayle. Is he your mentor?
Yeah, of course. Chris Gayle is one of my biggest inspiration in the game of cricket, then followed by Sean Paul. Yeah.
Good. Now, so you're an opening batsman.
Yes, I'm an opening batsman.
All right. Your high score 149.
149.
Okay. What was the most disappointing moment in the game?
In the game, I scored
in the game of cricket altogether. Yeah. Let's say in any particular game, any one cricket game.
The most disappointing thing that happened to me was that I can remember playing a finals game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the first ball of that game, I was opening batsman and I out one ball in that game. That was the most disappointing thing because everybody was depending on me to actually score runs in that game, and I went out there and the first ball I was bowled. So that was the most disappointing thing since I played
Thankfully, that
cricket.
wasn't your last match. Keon, we want to thank you so much for being on the program. Remember, that's our inaugural program, so you was actually making a record here. So you're not only making a record in cricket every now and again, but you're making a record here tonight as well, being one of the first persons who were interviewed on Bunjay. Right, we want to wish you all the best in your cricketing career. I want to promise you that I'll be looking for the name Keon George, all right, and following your successes. I hope I'll be able to raise a bat with you one of these good days. All right. Well, we continue so we take a break right now, and when we get back, we're gonna go into some Bunjay moments. Stay right onto your TV for that. Welcome back to Bunjay, and at this time, you know, in life there's always something that I believe that you really shouldn't take yourself too hard. Don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, you take yourself light. There are things that happen in life that really you should just take a laugh about, or it creates a laugh. As a matter of fact, though, one of the things in Grenada is that we laugh a lot about ourselves, and something may happen very, very humorous, or it could be very, very terrible, and we first laugh even before we sympathize. Now, we just want to highlight a Bunjay moment, a moment where, good grief, oh gosh, something happened and you just fall over with laughter. Take a look at this.
Yeah, I'm looking for some action, and it's out there somewhere. You can feel the electricity.
So you see what I'm saying? That there's, I'm still beside myself with laughter. Now that was something serious, but yet still it created quite a laugh. That's life. That's a Bunjay moment, right? Oh, chill,
Yeah, I'm looking for some action,
and that is something I'm sure that, let's take a look again. Let's just take a look at that again. I'm sure that is something that you would have said. When you look at it, you say, run, shit! And then there's a laughter. That's our life. That was a Bunjay moment right there. Now I'm sure some of you might be just killing it beside yourself with laughter back at home. And that's what the program is all about. Every Friday we featuring a Bunjay moment where we take the lighter side of things, we look at something funny that would have happened and just created some laughter. We'll actually be replaying it for our enjoyment. Now, there are who would have done well, who would have given up the time and the talent to the whole Grenadian cultural landscape. And one such person, we find time to feature them every Friday on our program. And today, we are extremely happy to be featuring one lady who would have passed on, but her spirit, her legacy still lives with us. She is none other than Thelma Phillips, and everybody knows her as Auntie Tech, and I have been a master storyteller. She would have been involved in many groups and organizations. Her name is synonymous with culture and drama and theater and the whole performing arts. So this evening we want to actually remember Auntie Tech as one of our cultural icons. She would have passed on, but her legacy remains. Now take a look.
Some people here say they want to hear Tig and Zaya with a fish, and some say they want to hear Tig and Humpy my pee-pee. So, that's where we go. Once upon a time, pass by, compare rabbit, compare Zaya's rabbit, Zaya, this time Zaya is sitting down on the step in front of the house because he was worried he didn't have any meat to put in food for the wife and the children today. So he sit down wondering what to do. Tig come from behind. Zaya, yeah, we're going, Maddie. Now we go and fish now. The eye light up bright. Yeah. But we both, boy, I get a boat. But let me go and tell Mistress Zaya. So he went inside, told Mistress Zaya, Tig say he get a boat, and he asked him to come and fish. Mistress Zaya said, well, go, we have rice and thing, but we don't know meat or fish. Come on, wait, let me fix a little basket for you. So Mistress Tig went inside and fixed up a basket with some little dainties, sandwich and thing, and a drink to give Zaya to go. Cover it down with a nice towel. They went down in the bay. Tig go and he pull out the boat, and soon after the boat reached by the edge of the water, Tig started to groan. Oh gosh! Zaya said, what do you? He said, oh gosh, by a big pain hold me in my belly. Oh gosh, he hurting bad. Oh, so Zaya helped him to go and sit down in the boat, in the back, just by way the basket, I think. And then, oh gosh, boy, my belly hurting me bad. So Zaya says, all right, I will row. Don't worry. Sit down there till it passes, and then you come and help me. So Tig sit down there, and he hold on to the belly tight. And Zaya start, pick up the 2 oars, and he started all the singing. We go in and sing with Zaya. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Chew, chew, chew your food, really chew your meat. The more you laugh, the less you eat, the better you will feel. And Zaya God, you row, till I reach a nice fishing spot. Come and help. Look, we reach where I'm fishing. Oh gosh, boy, I tell you, my belly hot till me. Okay.
And that was our feature of Auntie Tech, one of our cultural icons, gone but certainly not forgotten. Her legacy lives, a rich cultural legacy. I mean, you saw on stage, even her garbs, her dress, she was flamboyant, so effervescent. And that was Auntie Tech for you. When telling you, she had a stern side, you know. I remember her in the tuck shop in Marischal, but that's a different story for another time, right? We're about to go into now a feature video for the evening. Another of our Grenadian cultural artists who is doing well locally, regionally, and internationally. Wilt Cambridge, Talpree. Take a look and enjoy.
Them dirty mother, them eyes looking bloody, jam jam. We don't fear the jam jam. We wanna jam jam, and we will hear the jam jam. Some fear the jam jam. We don't fear the jam jam. We wanna jam jam, and we will hear the jam. Jam jam. Don't run. Jam jam. Don't run. Jam jam. Don't run. Jam jam. Jam jam. Jam jam. Jam jam. One to them. Jam jam.
Come back. Ooh, that was Will Cambridge. What a beautiful video highlighting our own jab and jab unique to Grenada. Nowhere else around the world could they play a jab like us. You friend! Don't run! Don't run! Whoa, you think we easy?
Hi, Robert.
You see them nice fingers there, so? It's not me alone enough, my girl hearing me.
Oh, Lord.
Shema, welcome to Bonje.
Well, thank you very much.
Bonje, you good too?
Hey, Bonje, you having a bad boy?
Yeah, not perhaps somebody.
Will you leave credit for that?
Uncle Willie.
Oh, Lord. Sorry for Uncle Willie.
Uncle Willie. That's why you get married in that and the fancy boots.
And I'm sure you had a band across the hat.
Yes, but I take out the band.
Yeah.
It was too much of them.
All right.
You know, you had bass, you had quattro, you had that band.
I thought you had several sections in that band.
But that's why
I thought it was a carnival band. I didn't realize it was a musical band. Oh, my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have on the set Sherma Wells. I mean, Sherma needs no introduction. I mean, we spoke of, we had Antitech as a cultural icon, had Talpri again as a cultural icon, and Sherma is, oh my goodness.
It's Sherma.
Sherma is Sherma.
Let's leave it like that.
I mean, she has done so much. She's a face that you see on, what you heard on the radio, you see her on the TV. She's been in Carnival as a queen emceeing for the Kiddies Carnival. She's emceed the March. I've had the pleasure of being on stage.
Also.
I've had the pleasure of being on stage with Sherma. I remember that night vividly, and I felt very honored to share this. I remember growing up and seeing you on stage. As I saw Senator.
Well, you are more grey hair than me. I talk about growing up and seeing me on stage. What was how with you, Robert?
No. I grew up and I see you on stage. The problem is I beat up myself more than you.
Okay.
And that is why the hair grew so.
All right. But accept that.
But I also was on stage with Senator one time too, and that again was another moment that I cherished. But welcome to the set.
Well, thank you.
I didn't know you could beat that drum, so.
I was trying a little thing, little hand movements and so on. You know, a little music in the background, a little piano lesson.
You did
youngster.
That too?
Well, there's a lot of things you do in life. You know, you try your hand. I try to sing. You forget what I sing.
You
ducking once, you ducking twice, and all.
Getting mad.
Okay, that's enough. You know, that's the thing about our culture. You know, once you get yourself all embedded into it, it's so beautiful. It's so, you know, especially, and you look at it through the eras you would have done culturally, the experiences you would have had. Tilingo as a little child. It's Tilingo. Playing that in Lapoto. Yeah, you know?
Tilingo.
You play ring games, you play hopscotch, all these things, part of our games or culture, or singing the songs we sang, the Mary whatever, whoever, and the brown girl in the ring, whoever, whatever, turn whatever upside down. All these things.
Shema, as you speak about the ring games, on Saturday mornings, I had to wash my clothes. I mean, my mother teach me to wash my clothes earlier.
Okay.
And I was kind of upset because I had sisters and I figured that was a lady's job.
Yeah.
She taught me, and I read, Mommy, thank you. If I never tell her thanks. I'm really glad I got a chance to learn to wash my own clothes.
Robert, you take so long to tell your mother thanks? Oh, no.
But here it is. That Saturday morning, boy, I look outside the window, my neighbor children playing. They're playing Coolie Man House on fire. And
Coolie Man House. Why do you used to do that to the Coolie Man?
Well, I guess that's the only house I burned around that time.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I couldn't resist. Well, I should be washing my clothes. I'd gone outside with Coolie Man House on fire. And then you have a pattern when you go down for nothing.
You come up to
behind my neighbor daughter. And with my good girlfriend, you know, in those days, when somebody watch you and you smile for them twice.
That's your good girlfriend.
Yes. We were married and I'm sure Show an idea here, Rob. What's in the window, but I'm going on for nothing.
Still going on.
Nothing. I can't see. Rob, I'm still going on for nothing. Next thing, she jump out and it fence. She come in and she behind she back, but she going on for nothing. So I said she come and join us. So you know I'm going on for nothing because mommy rich.
Mommy rich.
Legitimate going on for nothing. What? Whaps, come up for something.
You've got a good licking.
Man, I'll never forget that Saturday morning. I'll never forget that Saturday morning.
That's the beauty of growing up and engaging in all of that. And you know, these days our kids are into the iPad and the games and so on. They've spent very little time indulging in their culture. And basically, Robert, I think this program will highlight a lot of our people and their culture and bring that awareness. The engagement with the young people here tonight is extremely important because we want to ensure that they are part and parcel of the process, and others can see them, that they're involved in PAN, in cricket, in singing, dancing, the works. You know, it's so important for us to preserve the culture, and that's the of involving in a program like this from the Cultural Foundation perspective. We need to ensure the mandate is for us to preserve our culture and develop it, and this is one way of us heralding that culture that is so rich and so awesome.
And I must applaud the Cultural Foundation. I wish, however, that we could take it beyond just, I mean, that's important because this is actually putting you for an hour or so, taking a slice of what life was like and presenting it for you as a connection. But in terms of going back, I remember after Hurricane Ivan, no electricity, right? So you have no place to go online, you have nothing. But of course, entertainment is something that helps you to get over the stress. So, but the moonlight was bright. I mean, it was bright. Like, of course, the absence of electricity
must be brighter than ever.
It magnifies the moonlight.
Yes, you could see a penny on the ground.
So I take out my quattro.
Stop making penny. You can't see penny. Penny bronze. You have to be at 10 cents.
Well, you can see the penny nowadays.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
But take out my quattro and I went down aunt, who was just next door, and I gathered all the children around. Not just my aunt's children, but the neighborhood. And they came around and we just sang. Most of the children they didn't know, but they catch on quickly because of course it's in them. They catch on quickly, and we sang from about 7 to about midnight. Right, all the ring games, the same Cooliman house on fire, old Roger is dead, and all those things. And some of them kids, they said, when are we doing it again?
They loved it.
They loved it. So I believe that we are the older folks who have been there.
Don't put me in that category.
Okay.
Older folks. You may be so, but I'm not.
All right. So
I mean, I have a little gray on the side and so on. But
all right. So you're not an older folks. So you old and I'm older. No, I think I feel it's incumbent on us to actually do something that will help to connect. Because I agree with you, our children are not properly socialized nowadays. The finger. And you see them in a crowd, and they're doing this, and you would imagine they're conversing among themselves in a crowd. Not a word passing in terms of verbal communication.
And you know they're communicating with each other right next to each other.
That's what I'm saying.
Robert, I wish we had a lot more time to spend. I mean, time catching up on ourselves. But you know what I would like for you to do? The ring game you just spoke about that you sang with the children. Let's sing one now and take the show down. You can say bye to the folks out there. And I mean, I can't sing, but I could back up. Oh my goodness. That sounds like a funeral song.
Okay.
Come on, man. Get something to hit. Let me pull the drum. No, man. Don't do the coolie man.
Alright.
Hear my song. Ring around a rosy, I'm walking.
That's it.
You know, there's so many
roses.
What's the one where you say? There's a brown girl in the ring.
There's a brown girl in a ring.
Show me emotion.
She looks like a sugar and a pum. Show me your partner. Girl, hug and kiss your partner. Yeah, hug and kiss your partner. And then show me your motion, and then all kind of nice motion I think was being shown. Tra la la la, she looks like a sugar in a plum.
I like the hug and kiss your partner.
I like that too.
Robert, it's been a
that's
pleasure.
when I swear
It's
on
been
my
a
girlfriend,
pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Are we cooking on this next week?
We roasting a corn.
Corn? Okay.
Yeah, and we sharing it. No, you remember? Ship sail fast. How many man
Then
there?
Jack. 2.
Nah, 10. Give me a 2.
Oh Lord, you take all my corn.
That was part of the ring games. That was when corn was in season. We used to do those games. Ship sail fast. So if you don't know, remember you have to keep listening to the program because all of that will come out one day. I mean, look how just you get to know of something that was part of us, and it's still part of us, because if you only introduce it to the younger ones, they will eventually catch on. Time has caught up with us. Bunji, I can't imagine how we're gone this already, but remember, next Friday from 8 to 9, we'll be right here. Until then, take good care, have fun, enjoy yourself. Bunji! Don't forget, next week.
Let's get them a little drum.
Experience the goodness of the spice. Friday nights from 8 to 9. Culture at its best. A way of life, of customs and traditions. Hear the stories. Listen to the music. Witness the action.